because life feels the same as it always felt.
Okay, one thing I do want to say too is like life's really great. Life's amazing. By no means am I like wanting to like hurt myself or end the game early. But like I'm completely fine. But like if I were to pass away right now, I would not be angry. Not because I don't want to like keep playing the game or live or nothing like that. It's just like I feel like I've done a good amount of stuff. I've gotten to the stages where I can understand. My cognitive thinking has unlocked me to really understand like there is no end game. It's just a game, and sometimes you don't want to play. It's that simple. Not because like the game's hard, tiring, web. No, sometimes you just don't want to play. So like I think I've done pretty good. Of course, there's more I want to do, but I'm saying worst case scenario, I have no choice. It's time to go. I wouldn't be angry with it. What's good, YouTube? Today we're reacting to "You Are Playing a Game" by Alan Watts on Reality. The link to original videos top link description by True Meaning. Me, I'm personally an analytical person. I look at life very different from majority of people. Not saying it's a superior way. It could very much be detrimental to me as well. But I just have a very weird outlook and stuff on life. So I'm curious to see what kind of game he says we're playing. So let's go ahead and check it out.
We have an absolutely extraordinary attitude to the new member of human society. Instead of saying frankly to children, "How do you do? Welcome to the human race. We are playing a game, and we are playing by the following rules. We want to tell you what the rules are so that you'll know your way around, and when you've understood what rules we're playing by, when you get older, you may be able to invent better ones." But instead of that, we still retain an attitude to the child that he is on probation. He's not really a human being. He's a candidate for humanity. And therefore, to preserve the role of parent or to preserve the role of teacher, you have to do what they do in the Arthur Murray School of Dancing, which is that they string you out.
And let me tell you something right now, right? Here's my perspective on it, right? Because, like I said, I think very oddly, him saying that just opened my eyes to something, right? So, boom, let's say you dance in the living room, doing nothing wrong, just dancing. Your mom says stop dancing. Like you're not doing nothing wrong, and she's telling you to stop dancing. You have to listen to her because that's your mom, right? You're not allowed to dance just because she doesn't want you to dance. It's crazy, and it's like, of course, they're your parent. See, you think it's simple, but I'm trying to tell you, it goes deeper than that. Because as a human being, someone else is restricting your own well-being. Yeah, she takes care of you, she feeds you, whatever it is that. But just still think about like someone that has the authority to undermine your entire life. It's crazy.
They don't tell you all the story about dancing, because if they tell you, you'll learn in a few weeks and go away. And you'll know it, but instead they want to keep you on. And in just this way, we have a whole system of preparation of the child for life, which always is preparation and never actually gets there. In other words, we have a system of schooling which starts with grades. And we get this little creature into the thing with a kind of, "Come on, kitty, kitty, kitty," and we get it always preparing for something that's going to happen.
Crazy.
So you go into nursery school as preparation for kindergarten. You go to kindergarten as preparation for first grade. And then you go up the grades till you get to high school. And then comes a time when maybe if we can get you fascinated enough with the system, you go to college.
Okay.
And then when you go to college, if you're smart, you get into graduate school and stay a perpetual student.
Yeah.
And go back to be a professor and just go round and round in the system. But in the ordinary way, they don't encourage quite that. They want you after graduate school or after graduation, commencement as it's called, beginning, to get out into the world with a capital W. And so you've been trained for this and now you've arrived. But when you get out into the world at your first sales meeting, they've got the same thing going again, because they want you to make that quota. And if you do make it, they give you a higher quota.
It never
And
ends.
come along about the 45 years of age, maybe you're vice president. And suddenly it dawns on you that you've arrived.
Ooh, that one hit.
With a certain sense of having been cheated, because life feels the same as it always felt.
Okay, one thing I do want to say too is like life's really great. Life's amazing. By no means am I like wanting to like hurt myself or end the game early. But like I'm completely fine. But like if I were to pass away right now, I would not be angry. Not because I don't want to like keep playing the game or live or nothing like that. It's just like I feel like I've done a good amount of stuff. I've gotten to the stages where I can understand. My cognitive thinking has unlocked me to really understand like there is no end game. It's just a game, and sometimes you don't want to play. It's that simple. Not because like the game's hard, tiring, web. No, sometimes you just don't want to play. So like I think I've done pretty good. Of course, there's more I want to do, but I'm saying worst case scenario, I have no choice. It's time to go. I wouldn't be angry with it.
And you are conditioned to be in desperate need of a future. So the final goal that this culture prepares for us is called retirement, when you will be a senior citizen and you will have the wealth and the leisure to do what you've always wanted, but you will at the same time have impotence and false teeth and no energy. So the whole
freedom to do what you want, but not the energy to. Oh.
thing from beginning to end is a hoax. You are involved, by and large, in a very strange business system which divides your day into work and play. Work is something that everybody does, and you get paid to do it because nobody could care less about doing it. In other words, it is so abominable and boring that you can get paid for doing it. And the object of doing this is to make money.
Yeah.
And the object of making money is to go home and enjoy the money that you've made.
Yeah.
When you've got it, you see, you can buy pleasure.
True, but in a world where there is no money, there's also I feel like striving for things were kind of harder because let's say you want everything in the world, all you need to do is get money. But let's say back then when people didn't use money and it was the barter system, people trading. If you wanted to get something, you had to go get it. And if you want something else, you had to go get that. You had to go get that. You had to go get that. You couldn't just all get it at the same time with money. So if you want to eat, you got to go hunt. If you want to build a house and have a good house, you got to go build it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, now it's like you can just buy all that stuff.
And this is a complete fallacy. Money never can buy pleasure because all pleasures depend upon not putting down a symbol of power, money, but upon disciplines.
Yeah.
In other words, now in Sausalito, where I live, we have pier after pier full of fine boats, motor cruisers, sailing boats, all sorts of things, which nobody ever uses because they've been bought.
People want what they don't have, and when people have something, they undervalue it. You never know what you got till you lose it.
The falling for the ad line that if you buy this thing, you will have pleasure, you will have status, you will have something or other. But then they suddenly discover that having a boat requires the art of seamanship, which is difficult but rewarding. Therefore, nobody has time for it, and all they do with the boats is have cocktail parties on them at the weekend. And in myriads of ways, you see, you go home, we're the wealthiest people in the world, and you would think that having earned your money, you would have a great banquet and an orgy and so on, but nobody does. They eat a TV dinner, which is just a warmed over airline food, and then they spend the evening looking at an electronic reproduction of life, which is divided from you by a glass screen. You can't.
And nothing is wrong with any of this because if you really think about it, at the end of the day, what else are you supposed to do? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The game, some people just don't want to play, which is okay because at the end, I do this every night. I stream every day. I post every day on YouTube. I talk to family, friends. It is what it is. Boom. The day's over. I'm laying down, going to sleep, bored out of my mind. What am I supposed to do now? Like, if you're not doing something in life, for me personally, it's just like you're always you're trying to chase something constantly. You will never be satisfied with whatever you have. You're constantly chasing something, no matter what it is. Whether you're chasing money, connections with families, materialistic things, entertainment, whatever you're doing something. People say you spend it wisely, all that stuff. I mean, you have a lot of it. Well, some people don't, but you get what I'm saying. Majority of people have a lot of it. And you can spend it in a broad way of things. So it doesn't matter what you do at the end of the day. Watch YouTube, play basketball, play golf, become a music artist. It's all a distraction from waking up every single day knowing you got to do something for the next 24 hours.
You can't touch it, you can't smell it, and you have a strange feeling, you see, that the whole procession of grades that was leading to something in the future, to that goody, that gorgeous, voluptuous goodie that was lying at the end of the line never quite turns up. And this is because from the beginning, we condition our children to a defective sense of identity. And this, I think, is the most important feature in the whole thing, that a child grows into our culture, and this is not only Western culture, it's equally true in Japan. We condition the child in a way that sets the child a life problem which is insoluble.
Yeah.
And therefore attended by constant frustration. And as a result of this problem being insoluble, it is perpetually postponed to the future. So that one is educated to live in the future, and one is not ever educated to live today. Now, I'm not saying that, the philosophy of carpe diem, let us drink today for tomorrow we die, and not make any plans. What I am saying is that making plans for the future is of use only to people who are capable of living completely in the present. Because when you make plans for the future and they mature, if you can't live in the present, you are not able to enjoy the future for which you have planned.
Oof!
Because you will have in you a kind of syndrome whereby happiness consists in promises and not in direct and immediate realizations. So long as you feel that tomorrow it will come. See, on a dollar bill, it always says promise to pay. It's a promissory note. And nobody ever can come across. Because the promise is tomorrow. And as we say in common speech, tomorrow never comes. But everything is based on the idea, you see, that you will get it tomorrow, and you can enjoy yourself today so long as tomorrow looks bright. But Confucius once said, a man who understands the Tao in the morning can die contentedly in the evening. That is to say, if you have ever lived one complete moment, you can be ready to die.
Yes, see? I agree, 100%.
You can say, well, that was it. That was the good, that I've had it.
Yes.
You see? But if you never lived that complete moment, death...
I lived my moment. I didn't even know that, bro. I'm telling y'all, bro. Once you're done chasing and you find what makes you really happy, you achieve what makes you really happy, you've done what makes you happy, it's not materialistic things for all people. For me, it wasn't that. Once I found what it was and started doing it and enjoying it, and I realized I can sit back and reflect and be like, okay, I did great. For me, it was understanding. I'm an analytical person. For me, it was understanding my own behaviors and changing the way I am and being the person I want to be when I couldn't be that person. Coming out of my box, doing things I don't do, talking to people I don't normally talk to, family connections, doing things, achieving different things I never thought I'd do, seeing the world from a different perspective. Those are all things I wanted to do. That was my end goal. I started doing that, and I'm really into that already, so I'm okay with, like, I still want to do more, but like, bare minimum, I've done it. I'm good. I've done the bare minimum of what I wanted, but I definitely want to do more, but that's just how it is, bro.
It is always a guy who comes into a bar at 2 o'clock in the morning and says, time, gentlemen, please. Yeah. And you say, oh, please, one more drink. Not yet. Because you haven't really have the feeling that you ever had it, that you ever got there.
Yeah. Wow. This was a great video. Opened my eyes up even more. I love stuff like this. If you're new to the channel, this is my personality. I just like stuff like this. I like really thinking and breaking new concepts. My father calls me a philosopher. He says I could be one and all this other stuff. He's just making jokes, but I don't know. I just like to think in different ways that most people don't, because a lot of people let a lot of stuff go over their head, and people aren't really looking at the small details behind everything, or why we allow certain stuff and why certain stuff isn't. Like, you got to really just think about the little things that people don't talk about. Like the scenario I gave earlier with the kid and the mom telling him not to dance. Well, that's your mom, you got to listen, but people just look at it as surface level. Like, there's so much that goes into that particular detail, but I ain't gonna talk your head off too much longer. Appreciate you watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Catch you in the next video. I stream every single day on Twitch, second link in the description, and I post a video on YouTube. Appreciate you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you tomorrow.